Chrysippus' contributions to Stoic philosophy. Chrysippus of Soli was a central figure in the Stoic school of philosophy, often considered its second founder due to his substantial contributions. Living from around 279 BC to 206 BC, Chrysippus wrote extensively, with over 700 works attributed to him, though only fragments survive today. His work organized and expanded the teachings of earlier Stoics, making Stoicism more comprehensive and accessible. 1. Systematization and expansion. Chrysippus's main contribution was systematizing Stoic philosophy. He took the scattered teachings of Zeno of Citium and Cleanthes and organized them into a structured system. This made Stoic doctrines easier to understand and defend against criticisms from other philosophical schools like the academics and the Epicureans. His systematic approach ensured the coherence and survival of Stoicism as a major philosophical tradition. 2. Logic. Chrysippus made significant advancements in logic, laying a foundation for future developments in propositional logic. He distinguished between simple and complex propositions and developed a theory of inference, including rules for deduction and conditional statements. His emphasis on consistency and rigorous argumentation became central to Stoic epistemology. Key concepts. Propositional logic. Unlike Aristotle, who focused on categorical logic, Chrysippus developed propositional logic, dealing with propositions that are either true or false. Modus ponens and modus tollens. These logical principles, essential in deductive reasoning, were refined by Chrysippus. The liar paradox. He engaged with paradoxes, including the liar paradox, contributing to early discussions that prefigured modern logical analysis. 3. Ethics. Chrysippus expanded on the ethical teachings of his predecessors, emphasizing virtue as the highest good and the path to happiness, eudaimonia. He argued that virtue is sufficient for happiness, and external goods are neither inherently beneficial nor harmful. Key concepts. Oikeiosis. This concept refers to the natural affinity and acceptance of oneself and others, forming the basis of social relationships and ethical behavior. Chrysippus explained how this sense of belonging extends from the self to family, community, and humanity. Living in accordance with nature. For Chrysippus, living virtuously means living in harmony with nature, which is rational and ordered. This involves recognizing and fulfilling one's role within the larger cosmic order. 4. Physics and cosmology. Chrysippus contributed to Stoic physics and cosmology by promoting the idea of a rational, interconnected universe governed by divine reason, logos. He proposed that the cosmos is a living being with a rational soul, and everything within it operates according to a divine plan. Key concepts. Determinism and fate. Chrysippus defended determinism, the view that all events are determined by preceding causes in line with divine reason. He argued that understanding and accepting this necessity allows individuals to align their will with the rational order of the universe. Pneuma. This is the vital breath or spirit that animates and sustains all living things. Chrysippus described pneuma as a mixture of fire and air that permeates the cosmos and gives life to everything within it. Influence and legacy. Chrysippus's work laid the foundation for the later development of Stoicism and ensured its survival and transmission through subsequent generations. His systematization of Stoic doctrines made them more coherent and defensible, which was crucial for the school's endurance during the Hellenistic period and its later adoption by Roman thinkers. Influence on Roman Stoics. Chrysippus's ideas significantly influenced later Roman Stoics, such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These philosophers built upon Chrysippus's teachings, adapting them to their own contexts and contributing to the enduring legacy of Stoicism. Seneca. A Roman statesman and philosopher, Seneca's writings on ethics and morality reflect Chrysippus's emphasis on virtue and the rational order of the cosmos. His letters and essays explore practical applications of Stoic principles in daily life. Epictetus. A former slave who became a prominent Stoic teacher, Epictetus's Discourses and Enchiridion handbook draw heavily on Chrysippus's ethical teachings, particularly the ideas of living according to nature and maintaining inner freedom regardless of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius. The Roman emperor's meditations are a personal reflection on Stoic philosophy, echoing many of Chrysippus's concepts, such as the importance of virtue, rationality, and acceptance of fate. Conclusion. Chrysippus of Soli was a monumental figure in the history of Stoic philosophy. His extensive work in systematizing and expanding Stoic doctrines provided the foundation for the school's enduring influence. Through his contributions to logic, ethics, and cosmology, Chrysippus not only preserved the teachings of Zeno and Cleanthes, but also developed them into a comprehensive and cohesive system. His influence extended far beyond his lifetime, shaping the thoughts of later Stoics and ensuring the continued relevance of Stoicism in the Western philosophical tradition. Chrysippus's dedication to rational inquiry and the pursuit of virtue as the highest good remains a powerful testament to the enduring appeal of Stoic philosophy. His legacy lives on in the works of later Stoic thinkers and in the continued interest in Stoicism as a practical guide to living a rational and fulfilling life. Expanding on key contributions, Chrysippus was not only a thinker, but also a prolific writer. Although most of his works have been lost, the fragments that remain show his depth of thought and his methodical approach to philosophy. Let's delve deeper into his contributions. Detailed examination of logic. Chrysippus believed that logic was essential for a coherent philosophical system. He built upon the ideas of his predecessors and introduced innovations that would influence logical thought for centuries. His work on propositional logic in particular was groundbreaking. While Aristotle's logic focused on syllogisms, Chrysippus's propositional logic dealt with how propositions could be combined and what conclusions could be drawn from them. For example, the principles of modus ponens, if P, then QP, therefore Q, and modus tollens, if P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P, are fundamental rules of inference that are still used in modern logic and computer science. Chrysippus's engagement with paradoxes, such as the liar paradox, this statement is false, showed his willingness to tackle complex problems head-on, a trait that made him stand out among his peers. Ethics, the path to happiness. In ethics, Chrysippus emphasized that virtue is the only true good and that living virtuously leads to happiness. He argued that external factors like wealth, health, and reputation are indifferent. They are neither good nor bad in themselves, but can be used well or poorly depending on the person's virtue. This idea reinforced the Stoic belief that one's happiness depends on internal states and virtues rather than external circumstances. The concept of oikiosis is central to Chrysippus's ethical thought. It refers to the natural tendency of living beings to care for themselves and, by extension, others. This sense of kinship starts with oneself and expands to family, friends, community, and ultimately, all of humanity. This idea laid the groundwork for the Stoic principle of cosmopolitanism, the belief that all human beings are part of a single community. Living in accordance with nature. Chrysippus taught that living in accordance with nature is the essence of virtue. Nature in Stoic philosophy is rational and ordered. Thus, living according to nature means living in a way that is rational and in harmony with the natural order of the universe. This involves understanding one's role within the cosmos and acting in accordance with reason. Physics and the nature of the universe. Chrysippus's views on physics and cosmology were integral to his philosophy. He saw the universe as a single, rational, living entity, a concept that emphasized the interconnectedness of all things. Everything in the cosmos is governed by divine reason, or logos, which ensures that the universe operates according to a rational plan. Determinism and fate. Chrysippus argued that all events are determined by preceding causes, a view known as determinism. However, he also believed that understanding and accepting this necessity allows individuals to align their will with the rational order of the universe. This acceptance leads to inner peace and harmony with the world. Pneuma. Chrysippus described pneuma as the vital breath or spirit that animates and sustains all living things. This concept of pneuma as a mixture of fire and air that permeates the cosmos was fundamental to Stoic physics and biology. It explained how everything in the universe is interconnected and alive. Influence on later generations. Chrysippus's influence on later Stoic philosophers cannot be overstated. His ideas provided a solid foundation for thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, who adapted and expanded his teachings. Seneca. As a Roman philosopher and statesman, Seneca's writings reflect the influence of Chrysippus, especially in his discussions of ethics and the importance of virtue. Seneca applied Stoic principles to everyday life, showing how they could help individuals navigate the complexities of human existence. Epictetus. Epictetus, who was born a slave and later became a prominent Stoic teacher, drew heavily on Chrysippus's ethical teachings. His discourses and Enchiridion emphasize the importance of maintaining inner freedom and living in accordance with nature, regardless of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius. The Roman emperor's meditations are a personal reflection on Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius frequently echoes Chrysippus's ideas, particularly the importance of virtue, rationality, and acceptance of fate. His writings reveal a deep engagement with Stoic thought and a commitment to living according to its principles. Conclusion. Chrysippus of Soli was a monumental figure in the history of Stoic philosophy. His extensive work in systematizing and expanding Stoic doctrines provided the foundation for the school's enduring influence. Through his contributions to logic, ethics, and cosmology, Chrysippus not only preserved the teachings of Zeno and Cleanthes, but also developed them into a comprehensive and cohesive system. His influence extended far beyond his lifetime, shaping the thoughts of later Stoics and ensuring the continued relevance of Stoicism in the Western philosophical tradition. Chrysippus's dedication to rational inquiry and the pursuit of virtue as the highest good remains a powerful testament to the enduring appeal of Stoic philosophy. His legacy lives on in the works of later Stoic thinkers and in the continued interest in Stoicism as a practical guide to living a rational and fulfilling life. In sum, Chrysippus made Stoicism stronger and clearer. He turned it into a philosophy that could be easily understood and practiced, ensuring its survival through the ages. His work in logic, ethics, and understanding the universe still impacts us today, showing that the principles he taught are timeless. By living according to nature, focusing on inner virtues, and understanding the interconnectedness of all things, we can find a path to true happiness and fulfillment.